What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega as we continue through Days of Open Hand, 1990. Thank you again to Seb, as well as to Sofia, who provided both the self-titled album and Solitude Standing. And the next track on Days of Open Hand is Book of Dreams. I like the phrase, it sounds like something from a fantasy story or something. In the Book of Dreams. And there might be some, magical quality to that. Now, grounding the phrase in the New York-centric world from which she clearly wrote a lot of songs. And I say that in particular because I just did a song documentary watch-along over on my Patreon for her Luca song. Hello, Luca. That was good timing. That was remarkably good timing. But yes, if you are a full member on my Patreon, you can watch it now. If you're a free member, I think it'll be like 8 more days, something like that. Nevertheless, the point is, it's another song which comes from her time in New York City, and it does seem like those streets, that city environment, was very much a huge part of the songs which would eventually become part of her catalog. Nevertheless, the point is, I feel like this is likely to have a more real-world context, and as to what it might mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a journal that she wrote down her dreams in, and thus it is her book of dreams. Even then, I would imagine there would be more to it, so let me see if I can follow along. This is Suzanne Vega. The song is Book of Dreams, and it's from her 1990 album, Days of Open Hand. not a fade out. I really thought at that point it was either going to fade out or do a proper ending, but I was heavily leaning toward the expectation that it would fade out, but I do enjoy the proper ending. High five, Luca. So, okay, number one, we did get some magic in there, but it was in fact a magic marker. Secondarily, it does feel like they're, was it like take the name of, I don't know if it was everyone, but yeah, it feels like it's maybe more like dreams as in like hopes or wishes rather than dreams in terms of what happens when you sleep. Either way, it does feel like there's some lines in there that are very poetic, and the meaning, at the very least, is expressed in a figurative manner. So I don't really know what's happening with this Book of Dreams, though again, I don't think it is in the world of fantasy, and certainly we hear reference to the title of the album, Days of Open Hand, so that just, again, raises the number one question of exactly what that means, but secondarily, that is itself a very poetic term, you know, even if it has like a physical or more like mundane referent as a point of meaning, it does seem like it's expressed in a very poetic way, which again, a lot of her lyrics have been like that, where there's like a visual element to it, and even like a physical kinetic element, but it feels like it is functioning on multiple levels. Speaking of multiple levels, in the back third or so of the song, the layering of Suzanne's voice, and almost like she was, you know, call and response in conversation with herself, I really did enjoy the vocal layering there. And yeah, the acoustic guitar is a main feature here, but there's definitely like an organ keyboard element to it as well that really did stand out at a couple different points. And yeah, like a brighter song than maybe I was thinking. Not that like Book of Dreams sounds like a heavy title or something like that, but yeah, the song just kind of had a more cheery sound than the first few seconds made me think it would. So yeah, a cool tune, and one that again makes me wonder of what themes are at play here or what narrative is at play here. So I appreciate any insight people have. Do let me know what you think, and Luca and I, who is now sleeping again, we will see you next time. Peace.